Hi everybody, we're starting something new today for the interchangeable fence. And I thought I'd start with doing a summertime design. I'm ready for summer, over winter already. But what I did is I went ahead and painted the sun off camera because yellow just takes so many coats. But what I did is I took the banana cream and mixed it with white, and this is the lighter color, and then this is just the banana cream. So I'm going to start off by doing a little dry brushing with white on the outside tips of the sunbeams, because I definitely want it lighter. I'm not a big yellow fan, but sun is yellow, so we're going to start off doing that. And I don't know how long I'm going to be on today. Got lots to do. Been working on a couple of 4th of July designs. So got some cute things in the works. So I'm just going to dry brush, like I said, the tips, just to lighten them up and kind of go in a little bit. And then I probably will go back and float some white highlighting just to brighten them up a little bit. Good morning. We're doing some floating and shading on this sun as well. And it's going to take several coats to do this. I need to get his sunglasses out. This is going to be a really, really cute design. It's going to be pretty colorful. So I've had this design for a while now, just I haven't had a chance to get to it. But I'm going to be using a lot of bright colors, and anyone that knows me knows that's not my thing. But this will be very bright and bold. Didn't sand my piece before coming on, so need to do that. I use 1/8 inch birch plywood. I just prefer to use wood. That's just my personal preference. A lot of people use the MDF. That's just not really for me. But I have my little helper up here today. And I'm just kind of like brushing in a circular motion. No rhyme or reason. Just trying to brighten up the tips a little bit, lighten them up. Definitely will be going over it, because you can barely see that in the camera, and I can barely see it in person. Just want to make sure you get your paint wiped off your brush. I'm just pressing lightly. As I'm going over the surface. And how much you put on always has to be your personal preference. And I'm just going to go on the top of the hands. Because the sun is going to be peeking up over the fence this time. I thought that was kind of a unique idea. Alright, let's try and do a little floating and see where we get. See if I can brighten this up a little bit. We're under a winter weather advisory where I live. Until tomorrow. I can tell you it's cold. So I'm just kind of floating, highlighting on the very tips. And then I'll decide if I want to carry it down a little bit further. I'm just trying to brighten up those tips a little bit better, make them a little bit more solid. And then because I dry brushed, it kind of has like a fade going. Like a gradient, I guess is a better way to say it, a gradient. And I might even go back and add like a little bit of the buttercream on some of these curves, just to brighten them up a little bit. Let that dry a little bit because it will fade. And around his fingers. I'll be doing a little bit of shading as well. So it's Super Bowl weekend. And I will not be watching the Super Bowl. I mean, I want Philadelphia to win, but my nephew's a Philly fan. I'm just a Pennsylvania fan, period. I'm a Steelers fan. But, I mean, I'm just tired of the same teams and all the hoopla. So, go Philly. Good morning. I think I'll brighten this up just a little bit more. Get a little bit more solid. That penguin insert for the fence really come out adorable. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, we'll see about floating some banana cream. I'm just going to do it around this just to darken it. And then I'm actually going to take a combination of the banana cream and antique gold and go on the inside of the circle. I don't know if I'll go around where the glasses will be. I'm still kind of undecided about what color I want to paint the glasses. I think I'll start with the hands first. So I can get an idea how dark this is really going to go on. And that's pretty bright. Oof. Oh well. And then I'll do the bottom after this dries. I wish they made a really, really pale, pale yellow. I mean, I know they have the light buttermilk. But I just wish they had like a really, really pale yellow. And I might go back and dry brush some of this yellow on those one areas that I'm talking about. We'll have to see. I think I want a wider float, so I'm gonna try a bigger brush. And what that's going to do, it's kind of going to give like an ombre effect a little bit as well. With the sun. That's kind of what I'm going for. Where it's darker in the center and then fades out. Good morning. So I know the shading color for the banana cream is the antique gold, but I think that would be too bold. So that's why I'm going to mix the banana cream and the antique gold. And I do think that I'm just going to float. I'm going to try and blend my paint really, really good. And just on these curves, just to brighten it up a little bit. So that just adds like a little brightness. All right. Now, like I said, I want the shading in here to be just a little bit darker, nothing crazy. So I'm just gonna dip my brush in a little bit of antique gold and a little bit of the banana cream and take it to my paper palette and just blend it and mix it really well. And hopefully I can get a decent shading color, just something very minimal. Enough to make a difference, but nothing too bold. And I'm liking that. It's not too crazy. Hi, honey. Thank you. I hope you're having a good day. Now this probably could have used a little bit more of the antique gold, but I'll go back and darken it up. But just see how that has a little bit of a gradient. And there's nothing wrong with mixing two different colors of paint to shade and even highlight with. So don't be afraid to do that. Excuse me. It just kind of creates a different look. I don't know if I like that bright yellow I put. So I'm gonna go back over it with the white. I just don't think I like it, so I'm gonna go back over it with the white. Calm it down a little bit. It'll still be there because this yellow does not, this white fades, but it'll calm it down a little bit. Just want these sun rays a little bit more on the whiter side. Part of me feels that top needs to be just a little bit darker. Sometimes when you're blending colors to shade and highlight, you don't get the exact same color if you have to go back and mix it. I mean, part of me kind of feels like I should go around the sunglasses, but then that's going to take away. I don't know. And speaking of sunglasses, I'm really unsure what color I want to do. I wanted to do something kind of bright, and I kind of just did a test. I don't like that. So I think what I'm going to do, I mean, oof. I'm going to paint the glass part, I think, neutral gray. And then I might just paint the outside I need to brighten up the tell you what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna mix some of this banana cream and the antique gold. And just make the bottom of the hand a little bit darker. think I'm even gonna darken the shading. Around the fingers, just to emphasize that shadow a little bit more. I just think that makes them look a little bit more dimensional. I'm going to brighten up the white a titch as well. I mean, you can spend a lot of time on detailed work or no time at all. It's whatever you're into. I spend a lot of time detailing my work. I think when you spend more time and experiment with shading and highlighting, it just does something to your project. But, I mean, just darkening up that shading a little bit, just, to me, I think has more of a 3D look. That's just my opinion. It just gives it a little bit more dimension. Alright, and I'm going to shade around where these glasses are going to be. Maybe just one time. Probably should have used a wider brush. Yeah, made that wider. I'm kind of just out of paint. All right. Let that sit for a little bit. neutral gray. And then I'm going to have to decide on what color I want these to be painted. I even put liquid glass on those test glasses, and yeah, I didn't like it. I just think maybe doing black rims will just pop more off the yellow. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm pretty undecided on the colors I plan on using for the rest of the elements in this design. Normally I have a pretty good idea. This time around, not so much. So I'm going to be winging painting this whole entire thing. It could get interesting. Good morning. My goodness, it's almost 11 o'clock this morning. Where did my time go? Well, working on taxes. It is tax season, yikes. But they're done and filed. I might even, shade around the lenses. I don't know. Let that dry pretty good. No, my fence insert for my July 4th, I probably will be including a stencil in the DIY kit. So I haven't decided yet. It's definitely gonna you're gonna be stenciling. I stenciled. I'm gonna be stenciling fireworks on. Let's see. I probably could have went a little bit bolder with the shading. Let's see if I can do that a little bit more. Oh, that's dry. Good morning. Just trying to make it a little bit wider. it's gonna be a bark fest. The farm hands are here and Grizzy ain't having it. I think the cows are getting ready to give birth because they've been leaving the barn lights on at night, and that's not something they do unless that's going on. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And let that gray dry. And then I'm going to put I'm going to dry brush some streaks across at an angle with a lighter color. And then they said the shading color is actually soft black. So we'll see how this looks. I'm just using, I don't even know what this brush is. It's a Craft Smart. I don't even know what it is. It's a pretty pretty brush. But I'm just going to put paint on the tip and then kind of like brush it off. And then I'm just going to kind of go at an angle, just a swoop. Just real lightly like that. Might kind of want like a little bit darker line, so I think so just do like that. Then I am gonna shade around it. See, that kind of just gives like a different look. Very faint, it's very minimal. But I am going to shade around here with soft black. And then I'm going to empty my water. And then I'm going to decide, do I want to paint the rims black? Or do I want to get crazy and I don't know if I like that at all. Because that actually wasn't the color I was thinking of to shade with. I don't like that. So that's going bye-byes. No, I don't like that at all. That's not the color I would have chosen in the first place, but I followed the recommendations and I don't like it. So I think, let's see, I'm going to go with graphite. And I think I'm going to use a smaller brush. I'm just going to start off shading at the top. Let that dry and then I'll work my way down. I might have to go back and go over that little highlighting strip I did. He's gonna drive me crazy. That don't look too bad. Definitely need to go over the little scratchy marks better. Make them a little bit more distinct. Something I might do is like kind of dry brush right up in here, just to make it a little bit wider, a little bit darker. Just gonna go all the way around it, kind of soften everything. My water is a mess. That just kind of gives, you know, that little glare that you get. All right, let me empty my water. And then I'll come back and I'll decide, do I want to paint his glasses a color? Or do I want to just go with black? Kind of unsure. I definitely like the way the lenses look. I just don't know if I want to do something with the frames. I mean, because it might be too much black. But something kind of tells me I need to go with something dark. Because like I said, I did these. That's just, I don't know. Like I said, I wanted to go with something bright, but that just, So, all right, I will be back shortly. Hopefully you stick around. Okay. I think I'm going to attempt to paint these glasses red. We'll see how that looks. I'm going to use country red. And then I think what I'll do is I'll dry brush on the corners that neon fiery red just to brighten them up a little bit. I do have 3 little scored dots on here. That you can put a color on there. That's going to take a couple coats because red just always does, but also too, I kind of went over my line so there's some dark spots. But I think the red's going to look good on there. Do a little highlighting and brighten it up a little bit. I think with the lens being so dark, you need like a darker color. My paint is drying super fast today. And I think that's a pretty good choice. And I am going to dry brush that neon fiery red. Just at the corners. I might have to go back and float that because I don't think that's going to stick out real well. But we will see. It's a little bit brighter than what I wanted. I hope it fades. Oof. I might just shade that bottom with a little bit of black plum. Just the very bottom. Well, that's kind of where we're at. And while I'm at it, I think I'll just dot these dots with black plum. And I need a bigger end than that. That's too big. Yep. All right, let those dry. And the sun, I think, is complete. Then all you have to do is glue the hands on, and I'm not going to do any of the gluing on camera. But you gotta, there's little spacers that you glue right there. And then this little flat part of the hand actually rests on top of the fence. But so it'll be like this. So it's grasping over the fence, but that's how you glue it. But I'll glue it off camera, like I said. But I like that. I might shade a little bit more around the inner part of the sun. Maybe make it a little bit more darker. But yeah. All right. Let's stick this aside. See how long I've been on here. Almost 2 hours. Tell you what, I'll start on this next part. I haven't decided, do I just want to make these all wooden looking or what? I am going to use the honey brown, and I'm going to go over this with a wet wipe. And then we have, this is just a pile of sand. Of course, we have a little crab there. So I'll go ahead and start on this. And then I see myself wrapping it up for the day. And there's a pile of sand that goes over top of this just to add a little bit more dimension. So I'm not going to worry about going down so far. So I will do some honey brown and get that going. And I'm just going to go lightly at first and then build it up. I thought about making these little signs, painting them different colors. Then if you feel like you've gotten too much paint, just, take and rub off a little bit. In different areas. And I'm going to go around and I'm going to probably shade around the outside. But how much you put on has to be your personal preference. kind of think that's good. And I like to shade around this with milk chocolate. And that just kind of adds something. And then what I'll do after I get it all glued together the way I want, I will definitely be shading underneath and on top of each one of these signs where the post is, just to add a little bit more dimension. And then also to behind where this pile of sand will be. So I'm just going to use some milk chocolate. Try that first, and I want a little bit darker. A color I like to use is a color called asphaltum. But I think I'll start off going at the points. But just see how that changes the way this looks. My dog has the grumbellies today. I don't know why. But see, that just brings a different look to it. I might go back and do another coat. I have to definitely do the end, but I might go back and do it, another coat, but not for sure. It just kind of like adds a different look to these signs. It doesn't give it dimension. It's just, it's just adding another color and introducing another color into the mix. and just creating a little bit of interest. And also, too, what it kind of does is it brightens up the middle a little bit. I might even go around the outside of that post. Just so everything looks a little bit more uniform. Let's go around the outside of that post because I just think it's gonna just look kind of weird. I mean, see, it just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't, it's like it's missing. It needs that darkness, I think. So we'll go around the outside edge. But see how just doing something so minimal can change the look of a piece. I mean, it's just really changed the way that has looked by putting that color around. And like I said, once I glue those on, I'm going to shade behind them, and then, you know, shade behind the pile of sand. But that just looks kind of, I really like the look. So I used honey brown and wiped that on with a wet wipe, and then went around and floated shading with milk chocolate. I mean, if you wanted it brighter in the middle, you probably could dry brush. I'm not going to do that. But that's something you could do. You might be able to take a wet wipe and wipe off, you know, press kind of hard in the middle and wipe off more paint. Let's just see here. Because I kind of think I want that tiki bar to be a little bit lighter. See, I just took, I mean, there's my paint right there. So that kind of, lightens it up a little bit. Then if you end up rubbing too much off, I mean, you can always go back with the honey brown. But there, that just kind of lightens it up a little bit. I mean, the beach one is a lot lighter than the others, but I'm okay with it. So, I like it. All right. Let's see. He's gonna drive me crazy. This comes with a cute little crab. Now something I did is I made another layer for the eyes, like the black part of the eyes. I'm going to leave the file like that, but I don't think that I'm going to paint my particular piece like that. And let me tell you why. I just think it might be too many layers because you got this then on top of this. And I think he's going to go from looking like a crab to like a frog. I don't know. I just think it might be too many layers. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to paint this and use those layers. So and then, I mean, he's going to have 3 layers of claws. So, like I said, I'm going to leave the file like that. I'll even probably do that in the DIY wig kit. But I don't think I'm going to do that. So let's move this aside. I'm going to go ahead and just use the country red. Now, how I intended this particular piece to be is the outside part is going to be the white and the inside is going to be the black, and then dot it with a white dot. I'm just going to go ahead and paint all this. Something you can do is if you want to paint this outside red and then this dot white, you can do that. And then, you know, maybe just dot on like the black pupils. That's something you can do. Has to kind of be your personal preference, what you choose to do. And even though I'm going to glue these on top, I'm just painting them. And I'm actually going to come over here and paint this crab as well, because if I don't get it lined up when gluing, you're going to see the wood. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint this so far down. That way, you know, if you have an oops moment, you're still okay. Because that stick fast glue, it dries fast. So and then I'm going to paint this pile of sand. And if you're just joining me for the very first time or watching, I use all DecoArt paint. I love their paint. I love their products, period. So every now and again, I'll do a different brand if I, you know, see a color I like. But I pretty much stick with DecoArt. They have a color chart online, which is wonderful. They have a highlighting and shading chart, which is extremely helpful. And then when they retire colors, they actually have a mixing chart. So you can mix the retired colors, because they do retire colors every year. Come out with new colors. As a matter of fact, they just come out with new colors. And I'm sure they're retiring some. Gotta make sure I get this. My water is not good. Especially with painting a light color. And I'm just going to go around here, edges, just to be on the safe side, in case I don't get it lined up. And then I think I'm going to wrap it up after this is base coated. And I might come back on later, I don't know. 12:20. Hard to say. If you follow my page and are signed up for alerts, then you'll get an alert when I come back on. If not, follow my page and like it, and you'll get a notification. So let's kind of just go over what we've done so far today. We have this sun, and then you'll be gluing on the hands after you get the spacers. You gotta do those spacers, which I should dig those out. So you got the sun done. I like them. I like the gradient of the yellow from going, to dark to light. I like that. That's what I was after, and so I'm pretty happy with that. And then we just started working on the sign part. And it's gonna have a little adorable crab. And it's gonna look like this. So, and then the banner I have is absolutely adorable. I can't wait to start painting that. And then we have a little adorable gnome. So if you're a gnome lover, then you're gonna love this design. So, all right. Well, thank you for coming in and watching. If you happen to watch us after the fact, if you'd be kind enough to type in #replay, let me know you were here. Great. If not, it's no big deal. So until then, take care. Bye-bye.